I have noticed that as a affected person or a disabled person, or however you want to call it, there seems to be a section of the population or group of people that seem to take great deal of pleasure into harming us emotionally and mentally. These are people called narcissists or malignant narcissists. And they have a tendency to target vulnerable people like us. And I was recently in a group for recovery, and the group has kind of an easy way to become a leader for the group, and it gives a big inroad, really easy for these nutballs to kind of infiltrate and become leaders of the group. And the narcissist has a tendency to crave attention, control, manipulation. They do what's called gaslighting. You can say, well, the sky is a beautiful blue today, and they will say, well, but if you really squint closely, you'll see that actually there's a green tint to it. It's actually green. And then they will go around to your other friends and say, hey, listen, I don't mean to talk badly about Darren, but you know what? He really thinks the sky up there is blue, but it's really green, and he's telling people it's blue. So you really don't want to trust what he's saying. And I know this sounds like an exaggerated or absurd comparison, but this is about as close as for me personally I could get. So if you have been married to somebody, maybe dated somebody, been related to, or perhaps you were raised by one of these people with this narcissistic tendency, I think it's a conversation that we need to have. From what I'm hearing, narcissism is at an epidemic level. People ghosting one another on social media. They have a false sense of control and being able to not be exactly forthright about who they are to people on social media. But for some reason, those of us with disabilities, they really like, they're sadistic, and they have a tendency to want to hone in on somebody like us. I was in the group, and they have these things called flying monkeys, which are like little Renfields, because the narcissist's lifeblood is to feed off the reaction and the torment. So I was in the meeting one day, and here I am in the hospital, and I'm kind of in my raised up bed, and the guy at the meeting says, hey Darren, how are you doing? And I said, well, I had an attack of sepsis. It has knocked me back 8 years in my stroke recovery. I cannot walk, and I am 1 point away from kidney failure. And he looked at me and he said, well, Darren, we all have problems. And of course I was stunned by this, and I don't know if those of you with stroke survivor or with post-traumatic stress syndrome have heard of something called getting triggered. And this is where I was just really sent over the rainbow by this remark. And of course, I had a strong suspicion as to how this had been done, and they're designed to kind of make you feel like you're crazy, and they make everybody else think you're crazy. So anyway, if you're going through something like that, let me know. I want to talk about this. Maybe we can talk with each other about this, so you know that you're not crazy, and you're not the only one. Now, next video, we will be back with more exercising. I'm going to be going off my medication that's making me a bit fluffy. I'd say I'm not fat, I'm fluffy right now. Like I said, I have washboard abs, but I'm in the fluff cycle. and I will be losing my fat in real time, and hopefully you can join me and we can do that together. So please like, please subscribe, and please comment. It really helps me out a lot, and I'm here to see what I can do to help other people. Have a good day, and thank you.